Back to school jitters are to be expected every fall, but this year's return to the classroom has been like no other. The typical concerns combined with brand new uncertainties brought on by the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic are leaving some families more anxious than usual. But there are things parents and caregivers can do to ease a child's mind and build up their resilience. Joining us now to talk more about managing that back-to-school anxiety in a pandemic is parenting expert and author Ericka Souter. Ericka, great to see you. Thanks so much for coming on. So let's talk about the concerns or fears that some children might have about returning to the classroom. I have two nephews. I don't have kids, as Anne-Marie knows, but I have two nephews who are, teens, and one's a preteen. I feel like over the course of the last 2 years, they have managed this pandemic better than some adults. Like the little one wears his mask, no problem. The older one wears his mask and he plays hockey. I just feel like they just do it and it's not that big of a deal. And when I asked them about returning to school, they were just like, yeah, excited, yay. Like it was just like any other school year, I don't know. What do you think?
Well, what I have found talking to parents and children is that there are a lot of anxieties and fears, not so much about what the past year has been like, but about the future. Will they be able to stay in school? What happens if someone gets sick? Will the school shut down? Will we go back to being kind of confined in our own space again? So there are some concerns, even though the kids don't show it, they feel it, especially if their parents are worried. So there are certain things that you want to look out for if your kids are finding it hard to concentrate, they're not sleeping well, or waking up throughout the night, not eating properly, asking the same questions over and over again. So some of these little subtle signs can pop up. You want to look out for them.
I think that's really good to remind people because often we expect children to express themselves emotionally the way adults do, and they don't do that. Suddenly you might just find your kid acting up, or you tell them to put away their socks and they completely overreact, and so it's things like that that may indicate there's a problem. So if you think there's a problem, what can you do as a parent to help ease that anxiety?
Well, we all get a lot of anxiety when there are these big what ifs and we don't know what's going to happen, right? So you want to manage expectations, not just for your child, but for you. So going into the school year, let everyone know what will happen if school gets shut down, or find out the school policies. If someone in the school or someone in their classroom gets COVID, how long will you be at home? And then you want to have contingency plans. And, kids as young as 4 and 5, you can talk to so they understand what could possibly happen. Obviously, teens are going to have a better grasp of it and be able to process that a lot easier. But the idea is to talk through everything with your family members so that everyone knows what could possibly happen. And that will help relieve a little bit of the tension and anxiety.
So I'm interested too, Ericka. And Anne-Marie knows this about me. When I was because we've talked about this. Like I was extremely hypochondriac. Like when I was a kid. Like I was 11 or 10 when, AIDS became a real thing in this country. And I thought I was going to get it, even though I was not at all susceptible in any way to get HIV. I thought I was going to get cancer from eating hot dogs. I thought, and so my brain was constantly worried about all these things that probably were never going to happen to me. What do you do with a kid like that other than say, stop worrying, you're not going to get cancer from a hot dog? Like, how do you work through a child's anxiety because it's not so much, you have to wear a mask or you're not able to see your friends because you're distance learning. It's, a kid who all of a sudden doesn't want to interact with anybody because they're worried that the kid's going to sneeze on them and then they're going to catch COVID.
Right. I have 2 kids, and one of them is a little version of what you just described.
My condolences.
The subway for the first time in a year the other day, and he put on winter gloves because he was like, oh.
That would be me.
what I did is I sat down and I talked to him about what the risks are and how we need to stay safe. Now, you don't want to make them feel bad or overly criticize or be harsh, but you want to let them know that you're listening, right? And you understand their fears and that they're not alone. There are other adults and children who feel this way, but you want to try to be rational and talk them through what the safety protocols you're taking and how safe that you believe that they are. So the calmer you are and the more you know, the better your kids will feel. But you want to acknowledge their feelings and you want to say you get it, but this is how we're going to move forward and you're going to be okay.
Yeah, it's really funny. My kid's generally an anxious kid about all kinds of things, but she's not anxious about COVID. And I don't know if part of it has to do with the way that we've reacted to it, the idea that everyone's doing the same thing, everyone's got their mask on, everyone's social distancing, so it doesn't seem punitive or special or anything. For her, it's just life. Now, she didn't have to do very much remote learning. She did a bit of it, but she was able to go back to school last year, and I think that may have also made a bit of a difference. I think that knowing that you have some control helps a lot, and you have control. You can wash your hands, you can put your mask on, you can socially distance, and I think that also has helped to soothe her anxiety, the fact that she has choices that she can control.
I think a lot of times as parents, we forget that our kids are taking cues from us. So the more calm we are, the more together we have everything set up, and the more we answer their questions and understand what's going on, the better they will respond to it. And in general, I have a 4-year-old who now doesn't really remember life before masks. So kids will adapt to things much more easily than adults do. So we should keep that in mind. Sometimes we need to take cues from our children to kind of follow the rules and stay safe.
Oh man, ain't that the truth? I can think of a number of adults that can take cues from our kids. Ericka Souter, I'm not going to name names, but you know who you are. Put your mask on. Ericka Souter, thank you so much.